Hi there, good morning to you, and thank you for joining with me today. I spoke of Joseph last week. He was an amazing guy. From slave to second in command in the greatest empire of his time. What was his secret? It was not his intelligence or his talent, it was his character. He was a man you could trust. I also left you with the words of Jesus, turn the other cheek, love your enemies. He couldn't be serious. Well, he was. Now, for the first time, Jesus has turned our expectations upside down. We don't know what the disciples' reaction was to what he said, but we can guess, because human nature hasn't changed very much in the past 2,000 years. Probably they said, who wants to be a doormat, Jesus? Can I say to you, and I believe this, that when you act in love, you actually get it back. Project joy into the world and you'll get joy in return. The more you give, the more you get back. I believe that. Once upon a time there were two brothers at the fight. They'd been farming side by side on neighbouring farms for years, and they shared machinery, even the farm hands, and then it all fell apart. And it began, as always, with a misunderstanding and finally exploded into bitter words and weeks of silence. One morning there was a knock at the door of the older brother, and there was a man with a toolbox, and he said, I'm looking for a few days' work. The farmer says, I'll give you a job. If you look across that river, down there is a farm, and that's where my younger brother lives. Last week it was a field, but he took the bulldozer and he redirected the river, and he did it to spite me. See that pile of wood there? I want you to make a fence, an 8-foot fence, so I won't even need to see his place anymore. And the man said, show me the nails, and I'll be able to do a job that will please you. The older brother had to go into town, but he helped the carpenter get the materials ready, and then he was off for the day. When the farmer returned, the man had just finished his job. There was no fence there. Instead, there was a bridge stretching from one side of the river to the other. And his young brother was coming across it with his hands outstretched. The younger brother said, you did this. You built this bridge after all I've said and done. And the two brothers met in the middle, and they hugged each other. And they turned to see the man hoist his toolbox on his shoulder. And they said, no, wait, I've other projects for you, said the older brother. I'd love to say, the carpenter said, but I've many bridges to build. Well, Joseph was a bridge builder. Jesus was a carpenter and the ultimate bridge builder. Someone once said people are lonely because they build walls instead of bridges. Human nature says, do to the other guy before he can do it to you. But Jesus said, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. That kind of love is a choice, isn't it? I find great solace in the fact that Jesus forgave every injury ever inflicted him. And with his dying breath, he forgave those who had killed him. May God give us the strength to be a little more like him. Again, thank you for listening to me, and God bless you.